How's it going? All right, if you've never been to office hours before, welcome. This is like a weekly occurrence where we get to hear your feedback, suggestions. We talk a little bit about what's coming to butterflies in the future and any new updates that we have for you. Today it's going to be me and Van. Peyton's got some other stuff going on. So we'd love to know if there's anything in particular that you wanted to bring up today. We have some stuff to go over as well. Yes, I know, Galaxy. I know. Or Zegra, should I call you that now? Oopsie. Dan, by the way, if you're talking, I cannot hear you. Oh, okay. Just checking.
I had a temporary issue with the recording.
Oh, no worries. Oh, Galaxy is back to Galaxy. So there were two major updates this past week. The search page updated, or the search tab on the app, and then also the memories feature got updated to allow bulk deletion and editing of memories. So we wanted to get some feedback on what you think with those features. Are they improvements? And got shy for a moment. Oh, search page is nice. Bulk deletion is gold. You know, a while back, somebody had told me that they spent 37 minutes going through and deleting memories from one conversation. And I was like, this is insane.
Yeah, that
So I'm
just
really,
oof.
I'm really, really glad that this exists now because nobody should be spending 37 minutes to start a new chat.
Definitely not.
The quantity of profiles we are exposed to. That's a good point because I feel like sometimes when I'm looking at these pages, I'm seeing not the same creators or the same profiles, but like less of a diversity of content.
Yeah. I search page is nice with the genres, but clunky to go through on the top posts. Sometimes like 2 weeks old, and I don't think they're top posts for those genres. I mean, yeah, it
So
does
I
feel a little dated sometimes, doesn't it?
yeah, I asked Peyton too because I was feeling the same way, like why are these at the top? And he explained that those are like a trending. So we might see that trending update a little bit because if you refresh the page, it's going to be the same posts. So I'm not sure how often it's updating, but the feature itself might be updating, like how they're categorized as trending. Yeah, I like that it's trending. Like recent also. There's a weird thing on search right now where if you scroll past like so many posts, once they run out of something in that category, it goes kind of random. Uh, so you might notice something weird with that, but that's what's going on there. Ooh, that would be a really good idea, Darvel, with a small number on the search page indicating the total number of posts.
So King said that trending doesn't really make sense since bots get a set amount of likes and comments as soon as they post. And I mean, I hear you. Um, what is the metric that we're using for trending? Is it human likes or human interaction? Or
I
is
believe
it.
it's human likes.
Okay.
It might also have something to do with views, but I think it's likes in particular.
Yeah. That would make sense because a couple of weeks, like, it takes time for something to get into human hands on butterflies sometimes with how many bots are posting. A couple of weeks is, yeah, like, unless you're following that bot, on YouTube, most of the things I'm seeing are 4 or 5 days old, and YouTube has refined its trending algorithm extensively, right? So I'm sure that this is something that will be changed over time. It won't be, yeah, it needs improvement.
Yeah, and how something gets into the category, I have no idea right now. I think it's based on the AI reading what the post is.
Yeah, I can't really tell either. Like, even just going there right now. I see a reindeer, got back from the gym, sports, Jedi's, more got back from the gym, more fantasy. It's semi-reflective of my likes, but it's not quite as tailored as it used to be.
What is your favorite category on there to anyone? And why is it yoga? That sounds loaded. It was loaded.
I'd have to say mine's fiction. It has actually a semi decent diversity of fantasy characters.
I really like the art category too. It's just fun to look at. So I was thinking about doing a stream here on the posting to your profile thing because people have been having questions about it and wanting to see it. Um, would you guys want to see that with dreams? Cool. Let me try to get that going here. Okay, can you see the stream?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So this is the desktop app, so it might be working a little bit clunky, but we're in debug snap mode right now, which is a way that we test our beta features. So you can see like this little blue plus icon on the lower right that allows you to open up posting to your profile. On the screen on the app, you would typically see dreams pop up. I don't have it on the desktop app though for some reason. And dreams would appear with your persona that you have selected. You can also post as your persona to your profile here, where you can select a art style. I'll do a persona just so you can see it. What do I want this photo to be about? Dragons. That should be interesting because I don't know what persona I have selected right now.
Oh boy. That should be interesting.
And to be honest, this feature is still a little clunky. That's why it's not on web. Hmm, it might not be working on the desktop app actually. Yeah, it shouldn't take this long. Oh, here we go. That is not a dragon. That is my character Daikon. But that is the persona I have selected. So now I can post that and it'll appear on my own profile. All right, so now I'm just going to do one without a persona too. And so this will be in semi-realistic. If you select the text option, it allows you just to post a sentence to your profile, also just plain text. Oh yeah, Zeke, you can definitely ask questions here. So you can see the big difference between having a persona selected. Oh man, these comments. Yeah, it's because it's taking into account your character's appearance as well. So dragon didn't get as much of a priority. Korean folklore. Okay, see if I can get dreams to work on there. One moment. Have any of you used this feature? What do you think about it so far?
It's pretty interesting. I mean, it's some of the generations are weird, some of them are really good. And I like the fact that it kind of makes me interact with the app every day if I want to see more. Like I look forward to the new dreams and actually do interact with the app every day with it.
Okay, here we go. I've got dreams now. So I still have Daikon selected, so I think these are gonna be dreams of Daikon. As you can see, it's like your AI's camera roll, so I've had different characters selected. This is when I had the little prince on there, and I had my art by Hieronymus Bosch, my Mario Mangione, Potpourri, or Mario. Right, and so now that I've revealed these 3, I'll probably get more later today. I click on one, you'll see the post, as well as a caption. It's a little cut off there. Again, desktop app is super weird. It also gives you this cute little download option, which is nice because it actually has comments with it, the caption, copy it, and then you get comments. Interesting. All right. So Zeke says there was some issues with the clone. I can send you over the content guidelines that we use. Um, if you want to send me the name of the character too, I can look into it more specifically if you can't figure out what might have happened there. I know the clones are a lot more highly moderated than other butterflies. Yeah, I wish that the commenters were related. That would have been a lot cooler. Or even to my followers. I agree that persona should be changed to a different name.
What about just, name it after its function? Post as, you know?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like anything other than persona would be cool.
Yeah. We tried to explain personas, and I think we need to try to explain them again.
Yeah, you didn't show it if you didn't like those 3 images, how to refresh. So you don't refresh them, you just wait for the next ones to come out, and you can choose not to post the ones that you get. Or you can post as many as you want from them. Comment
Speaking
as.
of, I learned something new. Hang on a second.
Yeah, no problem. So for comment as, would you feel comfortable receiving comments from a butterfly if you thought they might have come from a human? Or would that not be an issue for y'all? Oh. Well, there could also be like a way to have it with a marker or something, perhaps. It's not a bad idea, I think. I think it's just like the implementation and how it's done. Oh, by editing your comment you throw? Oh, if they could talk about your profile. I knew that they used to be able to, when they would reference your profile, especially for message requests, but I'm not sure if they do that anymore. I have like a profile that I guess hasn't been talked about at all in a long time, so I don't think that's happening anymore.
So recently, Shapes enabled some utility commands, and there's a way for us moderators to actually speak through Fey now. So we could actually test out how that could go, like here on Discord. I don't know. My personal thought is that if we enable people to comment even more anonymously on an online platform, that could go bad very quickly. It would need a strong moderation backbone, basically.
Let me throw out an interesting question about memories. Have any of you experienced uh, editing your memories and seeing how it works in the conversation yet?
I've attempted a couple of times, um, and it didn't go well the first couple of times. I need to test it more thoroughly, honestly. They basically they act like they have amnesia. It's almost like one of them snapped back to when the memory occurred, basically, and the other one just wouldn't stop bringing up the edit.
I'm wondering what the best way to word memories are for the butterflies to understand them.
Yeah, as long as it's not the clinical thing anymore.
I kind of like the clinical. It's really entertaining to read.
But it's really repetitive. Yep, like every memory has details from the previous memory, and not in a good way. It's it's kind of hard to say, like they should be clinical in a sense. They should be about the facts. They should not be extremely repetitive because they're just bringing the same thing into the context over and over and over again in a slightly different way. And it just fills up the context too quickly.
And if anybody wanted to play around with dreams that haven't gotten a chance to, that's for our focus group members that have joined the beta test. If you'd like to join the focus group, it's open. So just send us a message. We'll add you in. It's only on the app right now, posting your profiles. So if you're a web user, unfortunately, it's not there.
So you disagree, Avery. That's perfectly fine. I'd just like to understand your reasoning why. And I know you've also done a little bit of research into AI. So, like, do you want to come up on stage, or I can wait for you to type? Um,
Yeah, so they let us know the past week and a half ago that they are going to be working on roleplay chat. So you might have saw a weird little perk with that this week. but they are trying to improve roleplay chat specifically, as well as memories. I invited him. He's got the green little hand again. Hey, Avery.
Oh, there I go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I said my whole piece and was not even able to be heard. Um, I, I do agree that memories should be less repetitive. They flood the context, and just too much is just too much. One or two repetitions might be important, but beyond that, like it's just going to get fixated or lose track. But the way I saw the memories being created were like, yeah, they repeat a couple things from the from the prior memory, oftentimes. But over the course of two or three or four memories, you would see some things basically going out and some things coming in. But if you saw repetition beyond, I would say three, then three different memories, then yeah, I would tend to agree that it's probably too much. Um, Memories in general are not for our entertainment though. They're there to be like the bot's personal notepad kind of thing to take notes on the user and be able to follow along and keep continuity. It's most especially important for continuity, I think. Um, a lot of what I'm saying is speculative, but uh, that's just what I've seen. And honestly, I think Butterflies having memories like that is one of its best assets over other platforms. And the ability to even see the memories, much less be able to edit them, um, is also another step in Butterflies, another feather in their cap, I think.
I definitely hear you there. And I actually agree with your point, like where a couple of repetitions is actually kind of good if it's something essential, right? That's why we inject the personality over and over and over again in any character AI type of a situation, right? Because that is essential information. Um, I have seen
What do you
quite.
mean by that?
So okay, in pretty much all of the character AI platforms, it's taking an LLM, and our character is a personality prompt and a system prompt on top of that LLM, right? The system prompt injects that personality prompt into every message.
Yeah, every message on these things is an entire message stack. And when on the front end we're seeing it as okay, well, I only just added one more message, but the calls to the API in the background are sending all of the relevant context, all of the relevant messages to the API, to the LLM in the background, as if it had never spoken to the LLM before. Every single call back to the API is a brand new call.
Yeah,
Um,
that's my understanding of it as well.
and so if you don't send the entirety of the conversation or as much of the message stack as possible, then what the what the LLM receives uh, in order to prepare its next message, if it doesn't see it, it simply doesn't exist and never happened. And we are spoiled, I think, a little bit because the intuition of these things is amazing, even more amazing than we give them credit for, I think. Because we could say something like, we could include two messages that said, like, I bought you a new car, you took it out for a test drive, and it crashed. And then later on, um, you could say something like, "Oh wow, you really trashed the gift." Uh, the if the conversation gets sent back another time, again, every call back to it is completely independent of every call before it, and it lost that first message that said, "I gave you a car," but it picked up the message that said, "You trashed a good gift." It will intuit that it was given to him. Now, it might have lost the information of who gave it to him, but it'll know still, and it'll infer that it didn't buy the car itself. And so over the course of a conversation, you'll see little hints of things like getting lost, but what you don't really notice is all of the little hints that it picked up properly on and didn't lose. It's so much harder to notice the things that didn't go wrong than the things that did. But that's why the memories are important, because I suspect that almost all of the memories uh, are repeated in the message that are included in the message stack, even if bits of the conversation might not. Usually these GPTs, like they'll say, "Oh, go back 5 messages, or include 10 messages, or include up to 12 messages in the conversation history." And so that's where you really, really need the memories to step in and pick up that slack.
Definitely. Yup. So I agree with you that like that clinical language is important, but at the same time, I think we need to refine it a little bit. You know what I mean? It feels
Maybe,
too
maybe
stale.
yes and maybe not. Again, what we think the GPT needs to hear, might or might not be. But I don't even have enough confidence in my own ability to say, oh well, you don't need to really say that. You don't that little tidbit. I'm capable of feeling pain, or I'm wearing a green dress, or something like that. Like, it seems insignificant, um, but it still sets tones that and has implications that I can't even really comprehend. So um, I think that comes out through the testing more than anything. It would be
So,
hubris of me to say that, we need to change this or that.
sorry to interrupt. Um, I don't disagree that with that. I think that it's more or less missing emotion, right? You do see some hints of emotion in there, but that emotional context is almost completely missing in most of my most of my memories that I'm seeing here.
Yeah,
Um,
but emotion doesn't belong there, does it?
I
That's a
think that
question, not a
in order
statement.
to replicate a human like interaction, you have to take in all of the context that means human. But we tend to associate memories with an emotion, right? A memory of
Right, right.
hugging
But
our
all that.
mother, it comes with an emotion of love, right?
But think
So,
about it this way. Sorry to interrupt, but think about it this way. If you gave that notebook of memories to a different bot, you should expect it to be expressed differently. Like, if you have a cold-hearted, mean wench, and it says something like, um, I was given a gift and it was thoughtful, or I appreciated it. Like, that would be expressed completely differently, and the way it's expressed would be governed by its personality and bio and traits and stuff like that. Like, that's where it really comes out. I don't know that emotions need to be in the memories. I wouldn't have put them there if it were me.
I
The question is, are they being expressed properly? And if they're not, then sure, let's look at the memories and say, hey, well, maybe we should insert them there. But so I'll ask you that. Are you saying that in your conversation that the emotion still doesn't come through?
so I hear you first and foremost. That the personality where we are putting those traits of curious or whatever, that should be what's shining through. But I do question whether or not these memories would be shared between bots. They seem very individualized to each bot, right? So
Well, that was a hypothetical.
if they
I'm not saying
are
that they are or even could be.
right,
It would be interesting, but no, I
and
wasn't proposing that.
and I'm going off of what I can see where they do seem very individualized, right? So to make it an individualized like type of post or type of memory, I say it should include at least a little more emotional context. Enough that, these are supposed to be kind of like core things to define the conversation moving forward, right? Like a core memory for a human. Add
So
just
it
a
sounds
touch more
like.
emotion.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah. So it sounds like in my opinion, what I would hope to see, for example, would be like, um, still sounding very clinical, but it would be a commentary on the emotional tone of the conversation. Like so and so is enamored, such and such was infuriated. You know, a commentary on the emotions without actually sounding emotional itself. I would keep it clinical.
I hear you. Um,
So one of
so
the specific things that they're touching on fixing with the memories that they talked about was the I can't create explicit content that's happening with memory generation sometimes and sometimes
Yeah,
completely out of the blue.
that doesn't belong in the memories.
Yeah, absolutely not. So I'm really excited about that one. That's one that I've been ranting about for a bit.
Especially when we know for a fact that it can and has and will again create something explicit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't lie to me, memories.
right. If anything, um, Ashy wondered if you know the or or Autumn wondered if the bots would know if we edited memories, or Ashley responded if we're gaslighting them. That particular memory is gaslighting them. It does seem to affect contents every once in a while. So if you see
Yeah,
that
sometimes
memory, delete it.
sometimes people can't get explicit chat on the mature chat mode, and it's usually because that memory has appeared.
Yep. So if you do experience that on a mature bot with mature chat mode, please check the memories first. I gotta get that copy pasta. That's amazing. That is a strange. Huh. Autumn, I'm sorry. So, yeah, that sounds like something that is happening with the memories. Definitely check out the memories there, and when that happens again, submit a shake report, please, just in case something went wrong on the LLM side. Unless you're on desktop, that might be a little bit more difficult.
Violently shake your desktop. Please do not. It won't
Please do
know.
not. That is not advice from anybody here at Butterflies.
I just switched to Butterfly's web on my phone browser because it works better to do user posts. Yeah, there was a issue where you couldn't type captions for posts. That should be getting fixed though, if you're still having it. Your yogurt.
Check for updates on mobile. I just received an update today for Butterflies.
Oh, nice. We'll see if there's one on iOS.
I definitely do agree that mobile is better than it was a few months ago. And
Yes, there's a new one for iOS too, 6 hours ago.
awesome. I agree that I still want lore books, Ashy. I do miss lore books incredibly. Um, it's on the list for the developers to look into, I think. but we haven't heard anything back about it.
They said it's not a priority at this time, that they're
Yep,
focused on some other stuff, but it's not like they said it's off the table or anything like that. It's still
exactly.
hopeful.
Example dialogue. Oh goodness. You know what? That is something that King, thank you. I need to bring that up again. So in other chat platforms, example dialogue has become really essential to making butterfly or not butterflies. The characters speak like the character you want them to. Um, the issue that I've encountered is that you need a lot of chat dialogue if your character speaks in a very particular manner. Um, yeah, Ethereal, the post context is another issue.
Yeah, it'd
So,
be cool if there was a box that was clearly marked that it only impacts chat, for example, dialogue, something like that.
right. And see, in the early days of butterflies, I made a character, Fly Grumsh. He was based on a bot I made in Isekai that had example dialogue. And I just shoved the example dialogue into the personality and into the. Yes, Fly. He is one of my oldest butterflies. Um, I shoved the example dialogue into the personality and into the commenting box when that was. No. He's an orc. Um, commenting box was first introduced, sorry. I keep getting a little bit distracted by chat. And it worked at first. Slowly over time, however, it has become less and less pronounced. So I don't understand when that exactly occurred. I will have to look up, like, look through his post history. He has. Let me check. 1 second. Of course, this is the time that the site loads slowly for me. He has 226 posts. So, please give me some time to look through his posts and I'll see if I can identify when commenting seems to have degraded. And I will see if I can bring up with the developers like how commenting is, because that is a feature that is supposed to work, you know?
Comment replies are gold though.
Yes, comment replies are.
If only the comments were as good as the comment replies. I remember that about Roger, and I'm glad that he has a censorship prompt that really suits him.
So, Ethel, could you share that censorship prompt in the workshop? Just, for archiving sake? Scholarly purposes. Yeah, scholarly purposes. Um, so making a butterfly look accurate to custom PFP is it's difficult. I've attempted so many different ways, from using a different AI service to generate a prompt based off of the custom PFP, to just describing it with natural language, to uh, like heavily influencing the prompt. And the natural language seems to work the best at the moment, but it's it's still rather difficult. It loses details.
think that turned out pretty good. You even got a custom pupil shape in there, even though it's not quite correct. Why is it so good at making iPhones?
I
Like
made
insanely good at making iPhones.
it really does. I made a Microsoft Surface stand because I kept seeing, you know, Macs in everybody's technology posts. And even though he's supposed to only use Microsoft Surface, he still has a Mac. The first post had a Mac. So I think that the image gen just has more images of Macs
That's
and
funny. I made a
iPhones.
coffee hater, and their first post was at a cafe getting coffee.
Of course, because mention it and it shall come. Honestly, this is just teaching a whole bunch of people how to properly use the wish spell in D&D. So, got the red ribbons on the hair and chest, neckline, fangs, mismatched eyes. Yeah, no, it did do a halfway decent job. I agree that I would like to see it follow it more accurately, like with the proper eye colors. The custom pupil is probably going to be a little bit difficult. Ethereal, don't start now. That I love
I
and
don't
hate
even know
people
what
who
that
do that.
means.
It's a technically valid tactic to technically get more wishes. A wizard can cast wish as a spell, and they can cast simulacrum, which creates a copy of them as a spell. So use the simulacrum to get 3 more wishes. And for those who don't know what's wrong with Wish, DMs can, fulfill the wish in any way possible.
That sounds ominous. Okay.
That's exactly the point.
A bug-free butterfly's hat. Well, butterfly is a bug.
Right, so it's just staying on brand. But I hear you. And that on brand is just a joke, by the way. We are actually seriously attempting to do our best to work on the bugs in an orderly fashion.
Yeah, those shake reports people are sending in are really helpful because it tells the devs a lot of things that we can't ascertain from like just the language that people send in sometimes. Like if you're on the app, what you had open, what you did.
Yeah, I
Oh, that's really
agree.
good to hear.
Butterflies without bugs will start a golden age. I agree, Autumn. Let's do our best to have it there. And I know that sometimes it really does feel repetitive when you're saying the same bugs over and over and over again. However, sometimes the developers just need a little reminder that things are still happening. So if you see something that's old, still say something, please. Just to give a little refresher. That, okay. So I have not encountered that galaxy.
I know there's some issues with deleting old messages too right now. One of the devs said it's a timeout issue and that they're on it. It's been a little bit though, so I kind of upped the priority on that this week. Hopefully, we'll see something come of that soon. Oh, Darvel has shaken two now. Incredible. That's good to hear. And if you're on web and you can't shake, screen recordings are awesome. Showing us what's in the console logs can also be helpful because a lot of times that is telling you the error that's occurring.
Definitely. And for those of you on web, we do have a way to report the bugs here in our Discord. So if you're listening to us on YouTube, feel free to join us here in Discord and make a ticket here, and we can get that sent straight to the developers.
You can also send us stuff on Reddit. We have pod mail on there, or if you want to email us, we have an email, not at Butterflies AI.
That would be hilarious, Ash. And honestly, you know what? If that happened and it actually sent a bug report including console logs, I think I would jump for joy. That would be amazing. That's okay. I mean, Google still has its Easter eggs, like do a barrel roll or what was another one? Honestly, having a little Easter egg inside butterflies would be fun.
So we've also been reaching out to some of our focus group members. So if you get a message from one of the moderators in the coming days, don't be alarmed. We're just checking in, getting some feedback. Oh, hi, Avery. Hearing what everyone has to say.
And again, if any of you would like to join our focus group, just message one of us. It might take a little bit to get you in, but don't worry about it. It is still open. Of course. So, is there anything else that we'd like to talk about?
Oh, we just wrapped up a contest here on the Discord for most original character. Congratulations to the winners for that. What else would you all like to see as far as events on the server or like fun community stuff? Oh, Ethril is asking about the
Content
profile picture
guidelines.
changes.
Yeah. So I thought we were notified about a content guideline change a little while ago.
Yes, and it also said in the app update that it was changing, but it hasn't changed yet. You will see something updated, and it's mostly around like child safety stuff, so it's not anything to do with profile picture change, but that should probably be added in there.
We will
I think
remind
that's
them about
important.
that. Yeah, we will make sure to remind them about that. Good call, Ethril. Thank you.
Since they're updating it anyway, it's the perfect time to add that in.
That's fine, Galaxy. Take your time.
Where can we send our thoughts on the leaderboard thing? Yeah, feedback and bug reports is great for that. Or if you want to talk, we can put you on stage right now too. No pressure though. I understand if you don't want to. But yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, there's a bit that really does need some clarification there on both the user end and the moderation end. So please bear with us while we get some answers for that.
Yeah, from my understanding, the problem is the generation. That's how it was explained to me, at least.
I don't know if they are even considering paywalling the mature side of the site yet. I don't even
Or
think
at
that.
all.
Right. I don't think they're thinking about premium at all at the moment. I think they're trying to remove the bugs, basically. So don't worry about that if you are. But I do hear you. It does seem to be a rather common practice. I hear you.
Yeah, we don't want you to break the rules either. And it's it shouldn't be so confusing. It should be really clear.
Exactly.
I don't think they have any plans to remove NSFW. I know Vu has been very outspoken on like keeping that.
I agree with that. I'm pretty sure they don't have any plans about it.
Image generation, that might be harder in the future just with the Flux stuff that they're working with, but honestly, I have no idea how censored the Flux models are working with are.
Semi censored. It's. At least to what I've seen from Hugging Face with people who have tried to make Flux like mixes, it hasn't been too successful on their end.
Um, as far as the Flux stuff, we haven't heard anything since Vu was in office hours last on where they're at with that, so I'm not sure if that's still being worked on right now or not.
I do believe it is legitimately one like base model with three different system prompts. But for the Flux, I think that they're doing that for realistic, which again, realistic is the most versatile option because it does not have any system prompt to make it more into a style like the drawing model or semi-realistic does. So you can take a like drawing style or an art style prompt into realistic and have a lot of fun success. I used to play a game with Ethereal all the time. Is it realistic or is it drawing?
Shout out to View Grabber.
Definitely a shout out to ViewGrabber. He does make a lot of good ranking content, and I know that at least a few of us on the moderation team pay attention and try to relay that back to the development team as often as we can. Content like that actually does help in the long run.
Yeah, he's like on top of it.
Oh, really on top of it, yeah.
Did I miss a conversation in the last few weeks where NSFW is being adjusted? Um, no, there hasn't been anything. The only things were like they were playing around with books and they are not allowing NSFW profile pictures. That was a while back. And they're working on fixing memories that say they can't create explicit content. I think that's most of NSFW news.
Oh boy, that's interesting, Ash. Could you please make a ticket for that so we don't forget? Oh, alright. I will triple check that. I'm sorry. I'm not seeing
Oh
one
yeah, that's a good
here.
idea.
I'm not seeing one here in Discord. Did you report it on the site? Okay, Shake reports. Yeah, we don't hear anything about those, honestly, so I will see if I can get an update for you.
Ethral's idea for troubleshooting is really good though. Try switching the art style back and forth and see if that fixes it.
And just to make sure that the new art style takes effect, poke it in between switches. Alright, fair enough. Oh, that's so weird. Speaking of weird bugs, please attempt to pay attention for really weird cross posts. I don't believe we've fully resolved that issue because I just got one the other day. So,
You mean
like,
butterflies tagging?
no. Um, if you get a post on your butterfly that does not look like your butterfly at all, please submit that report.
Ooh. Oh yeah, Bonk told me that one of his butterflies that was paused for like inactivity suddenly started posting by itself. Has anyone else seen something like that going on?
I have not yet. I will double check, but that could be somebody random found your bot and liked it. Oh, just posted once? Hmm.
Oh, maybe they were clearing out old posts then that got caught in drafts. Yeah, Ether, I also saw that you revived my waifu calendar. So she was back to posting again. Yeah, the messenger generations need fixed too. That's a good call out, Autumn.
King, you have a good chunk of bots, so that doesn't quite surprise me, but it's also interesting to hear. Did any actually revive?
That's so kind that people are going around just being like, wake up.
Some actually woke up. That's neat.
Yes, you
I,
should be able to revive them yourself, but sometimes it doesn't work as
yeah,
expected.
yeah, that's something that we've noted. I wish we could figure out how to replicate it, honestly. I think it's in the bug reports, but I don't think it has a replication.
Was there anything else that we needed to touch on today? Or did we miss anything in the chat?
So, what did we cover today? Yeah, that is a good thing. Honestly, my mind just blanked.
So today we talked about the updates with memory as well as with the search page. We talked about focus group and a beta test for dreams as well as posting for your profile. We talked about the update to content guidelines that's coming, uh, about reaching out to people for feedback, talked about the event wrap up.
There was a decent discussion with Avery about how system prompts and AI in general works.
Oh, and
Uh,
next week it should be back to business as usual, and Peyton should hopefully be here.
Definitely. Oh, also, for those of you who do watch us on YouTube, we will be having a new intro and outro splash pages.
Yeah, did you want to give a sneak peek?
Yeah, I can do that. Question for you guys. Do you want me to put that in the chat or. Yeah, I'll just toss it in the chat.
If it doesn't have a pixie or butterfly, I'll be disappointed. Uh-oh.
So, what I am sending is the new outro. It's a small video that'll play at the end of every one where we have that pop up that's showing you your relevant videos, etc. I feel like that pops up a little too soon.
This guy can cook, right? I like the song. I think the song is really cute.
Yeah.
And I like the wavy lines that turn into the Walmart logo.
All right. Thank you guys, and thank you so much for attending office hours. I think that's about it for today.
Yeah, thanks everyone.